Hey guys, YouTuber 100 here. Alright, now here I am to finish off these War Games reviews before Survivor Series tonight. And now, to finish them off, this is going to be a review for the War Games 2000 match. So this match was held on the September 4th, 2000 episode of Nitro. And oh man, this thing was freaking. Oh my gosh, this thing was absolutely. This was an atrocity. Like, this was embarrassing, a mess, atrocity. Just any word you want to use to describe it. But this match was just an utter embarrassment. This was just like an absolute clusterfuck on so many levels. I said, like, in my last one, how the Fall Brawl 1998 War Games match was a clusterfuck and a mess. But this one was just like a this one was just like a, a colossal mess. Like, this match was just like a total freaking, like, I don't know what they were thinking with this one. Like, seriously, this just has Vince Russo's name written all over it. So yeah, so this was of course like when Vince Russo was brought in to the WCW as like the head writer and stuff, and yeah, and I've said before how I just hate Vince Russo style booking, and this match really just does have his name written all over it. So yeah, so of course there was no War Games match in 1999, and then when Vince Russo came along in 2000, then he then decided to like have War Games, but give it a different format, and so this match was labeled a War Games 2000 with the tagline "Russo's Revenge." Yeah, and what this match really consisted of, like, it didn't have like the traditional War Games format whatsoever. Like, yeah, it wasn't even like the Fall Brawl '98 match. Like, this was just like something like completely different. So this match didn't use like the. This wasn't like the two ring match with like the huge steel cage. Like, yeah, this wasn't like that kind of match. What this match had was this match was contested inside of the three-tiered steel cage that they used in the movie Ready to Rumble. Yeah, and of course, like, they also used that cage like earlier in the year at Slamboree that year. Yeah, so yeah, so I don't know like why WCW really decided to use that three-tier cage, because I mean, come on, I mean, I guess like maybe they just decided it was cool that it was like used and Ready to Rumble. They decided to use it on a couple shows, but no, it just was terrible. Like, it was fine when it was used in Ready to Rumble because that was just a movie. It wasn't like a real wrestling event. So like they like took advantage of the fact that it was a movie and they could like do something different with it. But having it like it for like actual wrestling events, it was just dumb, and yeah, and it was just like wasn't even like a like yeah, it wasn't even like used very good. Like, this was just like so freaking stupid. Yeah. So this match like was contested in that three-tiered steel cage, and how it really worked was like this match was for the WCW World Championship. It pitted two teams against each other. It was the reigning champion Kevin Nash, along with Jeff Jarrett, Scott Steiner, and Vince Russo himself, against Sting, Booker T, Goldberg, and Chronic. Yeah. So yeah, so it was held like that, and how it like really worked was that it like the original War Games format. Like, it started off with two guys, and then every 2 minutes there was no like 5 minute period, but just every 2 minutes there would be another guy that would enter the match. Yeah, and in order to win this match, like how it really worked was that the WCW title was like suspended above the third tier of the cage, like the top tier of the cage. So how it really worked was that you would have to climb up the cages to get to the title. So like you would have to like use a ladder to climb up to get through the first tier of the cage. Then yeah, then inside of the second cage, then you would have to break out of the cage, like the door was locked and you had to like open it up and like get outside of the second cage. Then you would have to climb up to the top of the third cage, and then then when you got up there, then you would retrieve the WCW title, and you'd figure that would be the end, right? Whoever would actually retrieve the belt would win the match and be the WCW champion. But no, for some reason they decided to even like have more to it. After you retrieve the belt, then you would even have to then climb down the cage, pretty much back the way you came, like down the third cage, go back inside the second cage, then climb down back to the first cage, and then get out the door with the title. And then that's how you would be the champion. That's who would be declared the winner and the champion. Like seriously, what? Why are you making this thing so complicated? Like seriously, I mean, isn't it enough when you just like climb to the top and you retrieve the belt? Isn't that enough to really be the champion? Do you really have to go through all the trouble of really climbing back down, hell, and then exiting the door and being declared the winner? Like seriously, Vince Russo, like, what drugs are you freaking on when you write this freaking crap? Seriously, it was just so freaking stupid and overbooked, and they just made it even more complicated than it needed to be. Like, seriously, they were just so freaking stupid. Yeah. And another problem with this match is, like, I mean, the in ring work wasn't even, like, good. Like, there was nothing even nothing memorable whatsoever that happened in this match, but it was also really complicated because as like you had guys fighting, there would be like somebody that would like climb up the first cage to get caged, yeah. Then as they were like in the second cage, then like other people would actually like get up to there as well, and they would be fighting like in the second cage, but you still did have some guys like on the in the first cage still like going at it. So yeah, so like and even like the camera we wasn't even like keeping track of everything like you would just see like one like guys fighting in one cage while like you couldn't even see what was going on, like you couldn't even keep track of everything that was going on. Like if I had a problem before with like I said before how like one of the problems in these war games matches is that when like there's like the numerous people like that are in the match like going at it, like you can't really keep track of everything that's going on. Yeah, if I was like saying that that was like difficult to keep track of, can you imagine like how hard it was to really keep track of everything that happened in this match, especially like the three-tier cage? Like you had guys like fighting like like above like some other guys, like they were fighting, and like guys in the bottom were fighting, like you couldn't even keep track of what was even going on in the match. Like seriously, like it was just so freaking hard and difficult to keep track of everything that was going on in this match. So yeah, so as you can yes, like this match was just like an absolute clusterfuck on so many levels. I mean, I said before, like I said, the '98 All Brawl War Games match was a clusterfuck, but this was a colossal clusterfuck. Like seriously, like it's like they were thinking, like the people that wrote this, especially Vince Russo, but yeah, the people that booked this and actually like said that this was okay. Like how many drugs were they on to actually think that it was okay to actually have something like this happen? So yeah, so seriously, this match was just like an absolute mess on so many levels, and yeah, and this really was just like a prime example of just how freaking atrocious WCW was in 2000. Like seriously, WCW in 2000 was just like one of the worst at times to be a wrestling fan if you were watching this. Like this was just like so utterly embarrassing, and I've even talked about some of the events from 2000. So yeah, WCW was just like a complete freaking mess and just uh, just a colossal clusterfuck in 2000. So yeah, ugh, this was, and this match really is just an example of that. Like seriously, this was just like so freaking embarrassing and just absolutely stupid. So yeah, so just what else can I really say? Just this was awful. So yeah, this match I'm giving this a dud. Like, yeah, this match is just like an absolute utter embarrassment, and this was easily the worst War Games match of all time, bar none. I mean, I've already said like how some of them are bad. Like I've said before, how like the '95 Fall Brawl one was bad, and the '98 Fall Brawl one was bad, but this one is a whole new level of bad. Seriously, this was just like a mess, and it was easily the worst War Games match of all time. So yeah, I just don't know what else to say about it. All right, so yeah, so I'll just talk a little bit about the match now. So it started off with Sting and Jeff Jarrett in the match, yeah, And yeah, and they fought for like a couple minutes. Nothing really memorable happened. They got like a ladder involved in there. Then the next one to come out was Scott Steiner. Yeah. Then like Scott Steiner like tried to go after Booker T, and then Booker T and Jeff Jarrett were like kind of double teaming Scott Steiner and stuff. Then yeah, then the next one to come out was who was the next one to come out? Uh, uh, I think it was oh yeah, Chronic was the next one to come out. Yeah, they were actually in this match together. Yeah, so yeah, they came out. Yeah, then Scott Steiner then like climbed up the first cage, and then as he was like trying to get his way out of the second cage, Chronic then came up and started to fight with Scott Steiner. Yeah, and in the second cage, like there were like a whole bunch of weapons up there. There was like a trash can and uh like some other objects up there as well. Then Vince Russo was the next one to come out, and Vince Russo like brought out the Harris brothers with him. As Scott Steiner and Chronic were fighting in the second cage, then the Harris brothers then climbed up to the second cage and were fighting it out with Chronic, and so then the Harris brothers and Chronic were fighting on the in the second cage, and it showed like in the bottom of the first cage how Sting was going after Vince Russo, and then Scott Steiner, and like somehow then like it went back down to the bottom of the cage. Yeah, then the next one to enter the match was Kevin Nash. Yeah, and it showed like how like Kevin Nash really was just like hitting everyone, and then it seemed that he was going to go after Vince Russo, but then Scott Steiner and Jeff Jarrett like stopped him from attacking Vince Russo. Then eventually the Harris brothers and Chronic then just like somehow like got down from the cage, and then they just like fought through the crowd and away from the match. Yeah. Then the next one to enter was Booker T. Then Booker T then like was fighting with Jeff Jarrett and Scott Steiner and Vince Russo. And it showed how like Goldberg ended up like being handcuffed to a part of the ring, and then Sting then started to go up to the cage. And like I said, like it was really hard to keep track of stuff. Like there were some points where like you didn't see like when like somebody he was that down in the ring, and like you really didn't know like where they were. You like it seemed like they just disappeared. Like you really couldn't like see like some of the combatants in here. So yeah, that's another problem with this match. Like you just had like so much going on, and plus like with it being like a three-tiered cage, like you couldn't even like keep track of where everybody even was. So yeah, that's another issue with this match. Like as you can so as you can tell, like there are just like a shitload of issues that this match really did have, and it's easy to see why this did not work out whatsoever. But anyway, Sting then like went up to the second cage, and then like Jeff Jarrett and Scott Steiner then like went after Sting. Then Booker T then ended up like climbing up as well, and then then the last one to enter was Goldberg. Like I said, Goldberg then entered the match. He was the last one to enter, and like I said, he was handcuffed to the ropes of the ring. Then it showed how like Sting, Booker T, Scott Steiner, and Jeff Jarrett then were like fighting to get up to the top of the cage, and then eventually like Booker T was able to climb up to the top of the third cage, and Booker T retrieved the belt. And then as Booker T was then like climbing down to like get all the way back down to the bottom of the cage and out the door, which is just stupid, like I said. Then Jeff Jarrett and Scott Steiner then like were attacking Booker T. It showed how like they handcuffed Sting to the second cage. Then Booker T was then being assaulted by Scott Steiner and Jeff Jarrett along like with some weapons they used. Then they ended up handcuffing Booker T to the second cage as well. Then as they like ended up like getting like climbing down with the belt, then it showed like how like the belt ended up like getting loose, and then Vince Russo then got a hold of the belt. Then like despite the fact that Vince Russo wasn't even winning yet, he was acting like he did, just like holding the belt up in the air. Freaking idiot! Like you're not the winner until you actually get out the door. But then, yeah, then Ernest the Cat Miller then ended up running out. He was originally supposed to be in this match, but he ended up getting removed after losing a match earlier in the night. Yeah, then he went in and attacked Vince Russo. Then he got a hold of the belt, but then Kevin Nash then jackknife powerbombed the Cat. Yeah, but then yeah, then eventually Goldberg ended up breaking loose from the cuffs and then ended up attacking Kevin Nash and everyone else. Yeah, and yeah, then as Goldberg was about to uh, uh, leave the cage with the belt. Before he actually could get out, then Bret Hart then appeared and then just slammed the cage door on Goldberg, knocking him out. Yeah. Then as Scott Steiner and Jeff Jarrett then just placed Goldberg back in the ring, it looked like Vince Russo then was gonna escape the cage with the belt. But then he just handed the belt over to Kevin Nash, and then Kevin Nash walked out the door, and Kevin Nash retained the WCW title. So yeah, so this match really just had like just so much stupid stuff in it. Like the 3-tier cage was dumb. Like you couldn't keep track of everything that was going on, and yeah, just dumb in ring work. And it seemed like they were gonna do a swerve with Kevin Nash turning on Vince Russo, but it wasn't. So yeah, this match just had like so many freaking dumb things about it, and there was just like so much stuff about it that didn't work. Freaking yeah, and this match was just like an absolute utter atrocity. So yeah, so like I said, this match really was just like an example of like how terrible WCW really did get by this point. So yeah, so if you haven't seen this match before, keep it that way. Do not check this out at all. like this it didn't like this doesn't even have the original format of War Games. So yeah, so this isn't even the War Games that people have come to know and love. So yeah, so just don't check this match out, and I would avoid this match like the freaking plague. So, like I said, I give this a dud. This was just like such an utter embarrassment. All right. So, yeah. So, I guess that's all I really have to say about it. All right. So, that does it for my review of War Games 2000 match. So, I hope you guys did enjoy what I had to say about this. I know that pretty much everybody does agree with me that this match was horrible. Yeah. So, yeah. So, hope you guys did enjoy what I had to say about it because it truly did deserve everything I said about it in this review. All right. So yeah, so I hope you guys did enjoy this series of reviews of the most well-known War Games matches. Yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy it. Yeah, and tonight at Survivor Series, War Games will make a return. Yeah, so I'll probably make a video sometime this weekend to give my thoughts on these 2 War Games matches that'll happen tonight at Survivor Series. I'll probably either make the video later on tonight or tomorrow sometime. So stay tuned for that coming up. All right. But I hope you guys did enjoy these War Games reviews that I did. And yeah, I'm sorry if like there were like some War Games matches that I did not talk about that you guys like, but yeah, I just really tried to go over like the ones that really are the most well known. Yeah, I'm sorry that I couldn't talk about the '89 Miami War Games match, but yeah, like I said, the match isn't on Peacock and I couldn't find it anywhere online, so I'm sorry that I was not able to cover that one. Maybe if that ever does become available on Peacock, or I will make a review of that match sometime. But hopefully the ones I did talk about, hopefully you guys did enjoy them. All right, so yeah, so that does it for this review. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys later.